Well, good morning, cyber friends. It's the Mitty Man coming at you again from Walker's Music with yet another word for the day. Tuesday morning edition. We give God all the praise and honor. We thank Him for life, health, and strength. We thank Him because it could have been the other way, people. And we can just say we love Him to the utmost of our being and try our best to follow His footsteps of His darling Son, Jesus Christ. We also thank God for each and every one of you, the cyber friends. You know who you are, as well as we're going to give a shout out to the members of the Bible study. Thank God for you as well. And my title of my video this morning, people, is called Patience and Understanding. And I was convicted. Matter of fact, this morning, actually, I was thinking on it this morning. Actually, the conviction came a good while back, but about patience and understanding. And I was asked by a friend of mine that where did I get all that patience from that I have? And it tickled me because really and truly they just didn't understand where I come from. In other words, to obtain the patience, the level that I have at this point in time in my life, because it wasn't always there. For those of you that may not know, I know all of you know that I am a musician and minister of music in 3 churches. But the thing that a lot of you may not know is that I'm also PC tech. I'm a computer tech, and I have to have patience. If you work on computers out there, and I'm quite sure a lot of you do, if you have any knowledge or whatsoever knowing or working on PCs, you know it takes a lot of patience, because everything don't always work right. And then again, like, let me explain something to everyone. There are many levels to computer technology, computer science, and period. Some people might can replace a hard drive, that is very simple, and place a little memory in a PC. But believe you me, there's a lot more to PC and PC tech than just changing a hard drive and putting memory in, or maybe slapping in a sound card. It's a lot more to it than just that. And like I said, many levels of computer, from the basic area, just turning one on, to programming. You got many programming languages and compilers and interpreters. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's on a whole another level. In other words, if you don't know what I mean when I say interpreter or compiler, see, you don't know too much about programming. See, there's a lot of different areas of computing than just placing a hard drive in. But nevertheless, if you can replace a hard drive, that's good. That's very good that you can do that, and maybe you can save yourself a little money from coming to me if you know how to just buy you a hard drive and replace it in your system. That'll keep you from coming to me. That's a blessing. But the thing about it, that's where the patience comes from sitting hours and countless hours in front of these PCs, not only placing the hardware in there, but the debugging software. That's a whole nother level. But at any rate, I didn't get on here this morning to talk about that. But to be confession, I want to make a self-confession here that I didn't always have the patience I have now. It takes time, people. Jesus have to work on people, and this is how come right now that I have a whole lot more patience today than I used to have. Now, out of all the different faults that I had, and I still got a lot of them, but the main thing was I had zero tolerance for ignorance. And then I thought about it when I finally found out, and I looked at the word ignorance and what it really meant. Then I got a little bit better with that. I can deal with that because, see, first of all of us are ignorant to a degree, because there is always something that you don't know. There's something that I don't know. We don't have all the knowledge, but being ignorant to something, people, is just not being informed. That's what ignorance is. You just haven't been informed of a thing, and you have no knowledge of that thing's existence or being or whatever it might be. You just have zero knowledge about that. That's what ignorance means. But now, where I had zero tolerance, really, was stupidity. I could not stand stupid. Oh, Lord Jesus. I have zero tolerance for that. But then God said, well, I didn't think that way when it came to your ignorance and your stupidity. You see, people, we all have been stupid. I'm going to give you an example of mine. And there's many, I could give you many, but I'm only going to give you two. When I was drinking alcohol like crazy, when I was smoking cigarettes like crazy, those were stupid things that I was doing. But God didn't throw me away. Think about it. In other words, when it comes to dealing with other people that are doing stupid things, this is the way God dealt with me. He asked me the question. He said, well, was you not stupid when you were smoking cigarettes? You had knowledge. You knew what them cigarettes would do to you, but yet and still, you smoked them anyway. See, that's the difference, people, between being ignorant and stupid. See, I knew what cigarette would do, have seen it do it to people, but yet and still, I continued to smoke. So that made me what? Not ignorant, but stupid. In other words, it is a baby. You take a little baby, a little child that has no knowledge. They are totally ignorant that fire will burn them. They look at a stove and they see the red element. That brightness, that color draws them to it, and they feel that they can touch it. Why? Because they are ignorant to the fact that it will burn. So that is fine. That's a baby or a child being ignorant to the fact. And once they touch it, wow, burn, then they know not to touch that. So now, if you go, me and you, we up here in the 50s, 50 years old plus, and we go and touch the stove, that's stupid. That's stupidity, because we know, we have knowledge. Prior knowledge. See, once knowledge comes, people, that throws the excuses out the window. You have no excuse once you have the knowledge. So this is how come I was saying we must be patient and understanding with people that perhaps maybe just don't know. And I know a lot of times we want to judge people. It's a very tempting to want to judge people. Been there, done that. But we got to realize how patient God was with us. No one can walk my walk but me. No one can walk your walk but you. In other words, God deals with us on an individual basis. God doesn't expect you to do what I do. Neither does He expect me to do what you do. We all have our own role. As my great-grandmama used to say, we have our own role to hold out. In other words, now, just in case of you that don't know what I mean by that, I don't mean a streetwalker. I mean an actual tool called a garden hoe. And you use it to cut up stuff out of your garden and weeds and whatever it might be. You use that to break up the ground around it, to get the weeds and stuff out of it. That's what you use the hoe for. In other words, in the row, if those of you that are not cultured enough to know what a field is, and a farmer they crop in rows. In other words, they have rows of corn, rows of peanuts. In other words, and what she meant by hoe your own row, meaning you get in your lane and you stay there and you use your hoe to clean your row, not somebody else's. And this is a problem in the church. This is a big problem in the church. People will not stay in their row. In other words, I'm the minister of music, and I can be a witness to this. A lot of time, I'm the last one to know things that I should know first. Being the minister of music, people will go and do things. They get programs together, then they expect me to follow through on them. But that's the wrong answer, because you got it out of order. Unless you check with me, your program belongs to you. When you go and put together a program, you don't check with me, and I'm the minister of music, then that's your program. That's just fair. And that's not being mean, that's not being ugly, that's just being fair. Because you didn't check with me. You don't know how my schedule is. And if I'm the minister of music, that means what? I'm in charge. Point blank. Get in contact with me first. If I cannot do it in that way, I can tell you, well, we need to do it this way, that way, that way, if you want me involved. Now, if you don't want me involved, do it your way. But this is the patience and understanding that we must develop. You don't get it automatically. You don't get this automatic. This comes from years of Jesus molding and shaping us. But once you get the patience and understanding, you have more of a propensity then to deal with others that don't have what you have. In other words, don't poison the mind of other people. It's just like I said on the prior video about the thing that I had decided that one of our sisters, dearly beloved sister, was an usher for many years when I was growing up as a little boy at Antioch, and she was always in charge of the pastor's aid. This is why I put it back in I want to bring it back and put it back in order. That's a good thing, people. We should always want to help everybody, but especially those of the household of faith. Your pastor, female or male, it doesn't matter. They look after our spiritual needs. Therefore, we should take care of their physical and natural or maternal or material needs. People, that's the Bible. That's the Word of God. Now, I understand a lot of things not like they should be. People don't treat you right. Hey, believe me, I know this. Remember, I told you, I've been a minister of music now for about 20 years in this area. But believe you me, I've been walked on, spit on, knocked down, kicked, stabbed in the back, and it's happening to this very day. I understand that most people will not do what's right, but guess what? You don't look to people for your reward. My reward comes from Christ. Yours is too. Don't let negative people deter you from getting your blessing. You do what's right regardless of how people treat you. And guess what? God will take care of you, because remember, God is the God of justice. God will take care of you. You just continue to do what's right. When people don't feel like they're throwing you away and they don't want to honor you, they don't want to recognize you, don't worry about that. Jesus will do it. And He's going to do it in a great way. Everyone is going to see it. Because Jesus said, if you humble yourself, He will exalt you. So that's how we got to do, people. Patience and understanding. That will take care of the job when we're dealing with people. And remember, you got to have that when you're dealing with other people, because remember, all you have to do is remember yourself. Remember how messed up you were, and God was patient with you, and He was understanding with you, and He kept on working with you until He got you out of the valley. Remember, when God get us out of the valley, He don't mean for us to get on the mountaintop and show off. He means for us to get on the mountaintop and get the victory so we can go back down in the valley and pull somebody else out. That's the key. Remember, whatever you get into, if God's not in it, please, man, please, sir, stay out of it. Many man's going to try to have the Bible study on tonight. If the Lord say so, we hope to see someone there. If not, many man will have Bible study anyhow. The show will go on. This Middleman saying peace and goodbye.